Hi, my name is Gary, CEO of Tbaar.
Hi, I'm John, the co-founder of Tbaar.
John and I are very honored to present the panel for our Christmas at Tbaar card stick content.
Hi everyone, welcome to Tbaar's first ever art competition contest. We have the honor of interviewing our panelists for Tbaar's first ever art contest, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Dingding Hu. I'm an artist, writer, and content creator based in New York City. And you can find me as Hungry on Instagram, and I'm very happy to be here.
Hey, I'm Justin Wu, aka Hungry Artist on Instagram, and I'm an artist and also content creator, and I draw food to support local businesses.
Hi everyone, I am Ari Elefterin. I am an art director, artist, and faculty member at Parsons School of Design. You can find me at Ari Always Human on Instagram.
I've been making illustrations for editorial, marketing campaigns. I've worked with clients like Washington Post and Michaels.
My first question to get everything started is, what made you want to be a part of Tbaar's art contest?
Yeah, I think for me, supporting students overall.
Yeah, I think being able to support the youth movement for creativity, and also the fact that growing up Taiwanese American, I've always loved poetry, so it's amazing that Tbaar is doing this.
I'm just a huge fan of the design of Tbaar. So excited we're collaborating with aspiring artists, and I can't wait to see what everyone is creating.
What would you say is your favorite color to work with? Or manipulate, I should say.
I have a big collection, but I think this lavender that I'm having right now is among my top 5 list.
I grew up drawing on traditional mediums, but during the pandemic I've been exploring a lot with digital media, so digital illustration, and I've been working in Procreate a lot. And I guess in terms of colors, it actually encapsulates it perfectly because it's multicolored.
Yeah, that flows in, like ties in perfectly with your Instagram feed.
So it makes sense.
So I typically work in photography and film. So I like doing a lot of performance and capturing that through photography and film.
Right now, I'm doing a lot of mixed media. So it's a lot of painting, cutting paper, and collage elements, and putting that all down.
What made you realize your approach to art or design was different?
I'm naturally drawn to food, and a lot of people ask me why I draw food. So what I realized is that I'm actually more interested in the mood of food.
Yeah, I think that's what sets a lot of artists apart, is the fact that they don't necessarily have to choose where it is that they fit in or the medium that they necessarily want to work with, but the fact that they can do all of it.
Yeah, making your own path.
No, legit.
Yeah.
I like that. What about you, Justin?
I think my art's more about telling a story, and it's the people I meet, because I content create too, and I meet a lot of small business owners, so being able to tell their story, whether through words, visuals, art, that's really the thing that really drives me.
And so, what do you think about the creativity and the artistry in New York City versus anywhere else in the world?
I was born and raised in China, but somehow growing up, I always have a little bit like not fitting in because of my really bubbly personality. And
which we welcome here, by the way.
Just notice that. Yeah, but I love New York. I feel like moving to New York was like all I ever wanted, and after I moved here, I was just like, I'm gonna be a ghost in New York after I die. I think like the moment I'm in New York, I just love the diversity here.
I love the energy in New York. I don't think there's anything, in anywhere that I've traveled, I always compare it back to New York and the energy there. I love that everyone's creative, everyone's doing something creative, or they're creatively inclined, like they want to go and see museum shows. You don't even have to go far to see art in New York. It's on the walls.
How about you, Justin?
Well, it's funny because I've lived my whole life in New York, and I've stayed because of diversity. I feel like we're lucky to live in a city that has so many different stories. And the food, the reason why I love food is because I was born in Queens, which is the world's borough, and just grew up luckily eating different types of food, and being exposed to different cultures is so important, and I feel like being in New York is a blessing to have that.
I think that as an artist and as a person, if you're trying to constantly evolve and grow and leave a positive impact in the world, being able to connect and really learn from a lot of different people.
What would you say is your favorite place to visit during the holidays in New York City?
I I want to know the native.
For me, it's Rockefeller Center. It's Rockefeller Center because I feel like I have a lot of great family memories there.
Did you go every year to take pictures in front of it?
So we didn't, but I feel like whenever we went, it was always nice. And I feel like, it was always nice and jovial and festive. And so I feel like that held a special place in my life.
You stole my answer.
I'm actually a mind reader. Content creator and mind reader and artist.
Can we edit that?
I want to add in a little to Rockefeller Center. When I first saw Rockefeller Center in How I Met Your Mother, I was like, oh, that's so beautiful. They decorated the place. And then I realized it's the same decoration every year, so I got angry. So I skipped the year because I was upset, but then I was like, you know what, it's great.
Nice.
So that's
well, thank you for giving us another chance. We're happy to have you.
My favorite is I really like going to the cloisters.
I like it except for the walk to the cloisters.
The first time I ever went there was in the winter and everything was covered in snow and you saw the river with ice blocks in it and kids were sledding.
So I love the Rockefeller Center as well. I love seeing the tree lit up. But my main reason why I go up there is to see the window displays. Definitely have to go to Bergdorf's, see the windows, see the crazy displays, and, see what they come up with. I love seeing the concepts and the colors and how they execute it.
What is your creative process?
With any project, it's always like crazy rough sketches that I would be totally embarrassed to share with anybody. And then I refine it. And then I always share it with the art director or whoever the team is. And then I go into color, actually digitally. And then I go into doing things by hand. And that's always the most fun part because I get to experiment a little, get a little messy.
Yeah, so I know I've said before I focus on food, so I get inspired because I actually eat what I draw before I draw it. So I think similar to what you said before about food too, like emotions, senses, smells, taste, and everything. That influences my choice of colors and gradient. And I'm very into drawing texture, so when I eat food, when I see it, when I feel it, that goes into my whole creative process.
So my process is really based on observation and interaction. So a lot of my work, so if I was doing something about coming together for a meal, for example, it would also involve experiencing the meal myself, observing people doing it, taking photographs, interacting, and then using those images and footage to help choreograph or design from them.
So I'm actually a Pisces, so I daydream a lot. And I actually have a little journal. I document a lot of my thoughts when they pop out. And for me, when I see food, I actually see them as like living things. So I feel like food are actually my friends. And I actually draw a lot of human interacting with food. So that came from daydream to journal and then to final process.
Who or what inspires your artwork apart from food? And I know you mentioned your grandfather. Is there a particular dish that he used to make that really evoked something unique?
I grew up in an Asian household, so there was a lot of pressure growing up. But my grandpa cooks a lot, so I think I made a really intimate connection with my grandpa's cooking. And I feel like since I was a little kid, drawing food was kind of like a little escape, like a little bubble that I can stay inside and just makes me very comfortable, and then I just imagining like everything.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful. How about you, Dustin?
Yeah, again, I think like a human connection thing. So my mom, she's a great cook, and she's the reason why I fell in love with food.
How about you, Ari?
So I think, human connection is one of the big ones too. We all have that in common in a way. And for me, a lot of it is just being inspired by my physical environments and anthropology, sociology.
Cool. So I know Dingding and Justin, a lot of your mediums are based on social media. How would you say that has influenced your decision to create something?
Yeah, I think being on social media, I see a lot of food bloggers and bloggers sharing different types of food, and that's a way for me to learn with everybody else. So when somebody posts something and I see it, and I'm like, oh, I get really excited. It influences me to go there as well and try their food.
Nice. Okay, so the influence is there for you.
Yeah, it's cool food, yeah.
Social social media has definitely influenced my career. I'm not sure about work. I mean, it probably has, and I'm just not acknowledging it because it's so intertwined with how my career developed. You know, Instagram was definitely a tool where anybody can see your work and like you can grab someone's like pair of eyes, which I think was something new at the time, without having to really do much additional work. I think as an illustrator, a lot of the times you're like printing out postcards, you're finding out who your art audience is, which is mostly just art directors.
What advice would you guys give young creatives who are looking to make their mark on the world when it comes to creating on their chosen mediums? I know a lot of young creatives often suffer from, you know, imposter syndrome or feeling like their work has been done before or like it's not going to catch on. What would you say to someone who wants to just keep going?
I think my biggest piece of advice is just making work that you love and that you really believe in and making it for yourself. And that if you can really connect to yourself and the things that really speak to you, there will be people who find you and also can relate to that. And so I think similarly, it's never stop making, never just keep trying and keep practicing and pushing forward and being true to yourself.
What kind of support do you feel is crucial for, you know, a beginner artist or even somebody who has been doing it for a while? What do you feel like you just like need or something that just for sure keeps you going?
I think it comes back to the community once again. I mean, honestly, something like this art contest is so great for creators in their youth. I remember the art contest that I participated in the local like Flushing community back when I was a kid. I was like 5 or 6 years old, and whether just being able to participate with something that you really feel passionate about and having like-minded individuals, you know, just keep pushing you. I think that's going to be great no matter if you draw for 1 year or 20 years.
I just want to say there's enough room for everyone, and surround yourself with people that truly appreciate you and keep them close.
Support definitely is key. Personally, I'm an introvert, so I like to just be by myself. You know, making work, you're very in your own head, and if someone is supporting you, whether or not they're doing something like taking a look at your work and giving you positive criticism or something to make your work better, I think, you know, anything that can help.
So to wrap up, being that you guys have been on the other side of an art competition, what are you looking forward to as a panelist for Tbaar's first ever art contest?
I'm just excited to see everybody's submissions. Honestly, again, everybody has a fresh perspective, and it's going to be so cool to see what people have in store.
And I think because the medium is so limited, and I think that's actually where we have most creativity, so I'm ready to be surprised.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see different perspectives and different points of view, and I think that like with the really limited medium or limited space, you can really see someone's personality and style come through. I'm excited.
I agree. And Tbaar is extremely thankful to have you guys as our panelists. We hope this was very insightful to all the young creatives who plan on submitting their creative artwork on June 1st, 2022. And we hope that our great panelists here are going to choose hopefully one of your designs. And again, thank you guys for joining us. I hope this was very insightful, and cheers!